Hello, and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Time to get ready to go for round 2 in test season 3 of the 2022 series in the Gran Turismo World Series Nations Cup on GT7. After we participate in round 1 at Dragon Trail Seaside to be in the Group 3 class to master every corners, including the bus stop death chicane on Sector 3, is going to be a very difficult challenge for only several clean racers. We might have a clear advantage, just like Gran Turismo Sport from the previous last seasons. So now, we're moving on in Fuji International Speedway for only 12 laps by the number of players up to 16 in the grid start with full start check by using the Radical SR3 SL 2013. We'll be ready to go to be on the specified car to be labeled as a one-make category. For this kind of a vehicle is the street legal track car with an engine of Ford EcoBoost 2.0 liters in 239 horsepower / 5500 RPM. The drivetrain is a mid-engine layout with a displacement of 2000 cc. But this is going to be a very good, excellent road car that can handle full pleasure cruises and circuit laps. It's going to be a very good, excellent road going racer to take on in the Nations Cup. So there might be some good regulations. It's going to be checked and good to go to be on the sports hard compound tires. So there is going to be a race settings to be on the minimum pit stop. We'll be doing a mandatory requirement. One time only, when you're going to have to go into the pits, we'll have to proceed forward onto the finish line. If you don't, you might end up by having a 1-minute penalty. We'll be dropped down below to a different position. So be very careful, you guys. This race is going to be very challenging, just like the Manufacturers Cup in round 1 at Brands Hatch Grand Prix Circuit to be in the Group 4 class. BOP regulations will be set up automatically to take the track and go practice before we will join in session to be in the lobby. Only a minute left. Now, let's see how good you are can actually have to go well driven to do some pleasure when racing in the Radical SR3 SL. As always, if you're new to my YouTube channel, go and click the subscribe button, then leave a like and comment at the section down below. Check out the links on the description if you want to see more. Feel free to enjoy it anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the race, and let's begin. Alright folks, looks like round 2 in test season 3 for the 2022 series of the GT World Series Nations Cup will be starting off to have 4 drivers after having some few minutes to be on the long delays. Here's Smokey Rooster is in first place, Psycho Crowley in second place, third place is myself with a UDRS in Sportec, and for the 4th place driver is ATK_FastGinger1. But somehow, I thought this is going to be a full driver is going to have to go in to be having a good, excellent race to be on the second round. But anyway, 5 seconds is already clear and passed, so let's do this. Round 2 in test season 3 for the 2022 series Nations Cup is about to go underway. And this time, it's about to go for the battle to be in the number 1 spot. This will be a very good, excellent challenge for only 4 drivers in the same car to be using for the Radical SR3 SL 2013. Now we have Psycho Crowley takes the lead, and here comes the contact to be coming in on to turn number 3 at the Coca-Cola corner by ignoring the track limit. 2 seconds for Smokey Roaster, and also to have Psycho Crowley takes the penalty for only 0.5 seconds due to the ignored track limit. So now comes in to have some 3 drivers are also to be left standing around to be in Fuji International Speedway. And that makes Harriet is now leaving the lobby because of many drivers have been doing some longer delays. It's going to get much longer to have some differences between the PS4 or PS5 version. So now let's go right in on to sector number 2 to have a good sector 3 move forward to be on the uphill. So it looks like UDRS in Sportec has the opportunity to catch up to Smokey Rooster by the penalty in 2 seconds, take the 13 after taking turn 10 through 11 and 12 before going up forward after the 13 is the 14 and 15 at the nets before coming up onto the 16 corner is the Panasonic. Psycho Crowley takes the lead and go closer to have the progression for only 0.5 second penalty to be well effect before crossing the line will be forced to slow down automatically. UDRS in Sportec has the opportunity to follow the slipstream and passes up to be entered to the penalty line for Smokey Rooster to take 3rd place after Sportec takes position number 2. That's the spirit. It's a 3-car battle coming in, and there's also to have a pit stop for Smokey Rooster to be in the hard racing compound tires to be as a main mandatory requirement. So let's go in there, folks. UDRS in Sportec might have a perfect chance to go lone wolf racing with Psycho Crowley in position number 1. That should be a very good, excellent run without several crowded drivers coming in to be on the lineup to have the chase. Now for lap number 2 to take lap number 1 in, coming down on to turn number 3 after passing the Coca-Cola corner to be on the 100R in turn 4 and 5. Sportec barely tried to stay on track with Psycho Crowley before taking turn 6 at the hairpin. Heavy handling is going to have to do much perfectly to be as a differences to be suitable as an alternate method. But somehow, I thought this might be quite doing great for 16 drivers who will be joining session to be in the lobby. But now it comes in by over 10 minutes because of the long waiting game, because several GT players have left the lobby due to the difficulties is going to be having some unexpected errors. So now going to have to go up the hill on to sector number 3, take the 13 before Psycho Crowley will have to stay well guarded to be in the lead. 21 seconds for Smokey Rooster to be in position 3, while UDRS in Sportec and Psycho Crowley continues on to take the battle for first place will go underway. But here comes the 16 at the Panasonic, gonna have to go closer and take a good excellent pace to be followed onto the slipstream to be using with the SR3 SL Radical track car is gonna be well capable to be challenging and driven to be at Fuji International Speedway. But there it goes. 2 cars are now going in to take the pits by earlier will be perceived forward to be on the stop and go or tire change method strategy is going to be perfectly at this moment. So now, going to have to take a good standby moment to have 94% remaining on the field between myself and Psycho Crowley before Smokey Rooster will be coming in to have a good opportunity cleared to have a good excellent first position. Quick refuel, now coming out into the pits, and there goes Psycho Crowley, comes out onto the pits as well. Same position, and coming out onto turn number 1. But here comes another red zone to be put up onto the out lap. That might be quite possible to have the go direction is going to be doing as always, just like round 1 at Dragon Trail Seaside for the Group 3 class. So now moving on in lap number 3 for only 9 more laps to go remaining. The battle rages on for Psycho Crowley and UDRS in Sportec to take an excellent duel. But wait, looks like the handling is going to be having some difficulty for Psycho Crowley. Takes a good recovery before Sportec dives in on turn number 6 and 7 at the hairpin. Very good excellent slipstream to pass through onto turn 8 before coming down onto the 300R in turn 9. But heads up, sector 2 clear at the end and go for the heavy brake onto turn number 10. Stay at it. Psycho Crowley gonna have to stay on top in first position before Sportec will be pushed forward by the offense before take the 13th. Very great. now goes on for the struggle in about 0.5 seconds by each other. Hard left onto the 15 and go back again onto the Panasonic in turn 16. Doing great and doing successful to be on the grueling run out there to have one pit stop to be as a main mandatory. Early preparation, and that means only three's a crowd to be in the lobby to be racing around in Fuji until Smokey Rooster is coming right back in about 2 seconds behind the gap along with myself and Psycho Crowley in first and second place. But now comes in to have the update is going to have to be changed up differently. Green flag will be signaled in to be moving on in lap number 4, people. This race is going to be a very good moment, just like Pixar's Cars to be racing at Los Angeles International Speedway. But 3 cars is going to be battled out on the 12 laps to be in Fuji to become very successful and remarkable to be as a good reference. So now let's come in on to turn number 3 at the Coca-Cola after taking turn 1 and 2 at the TGR corner exit. Successful to be on the 100R for Insportec while staying on track with Psycho Crowley before regaining control by having some handling respond. But there goes turn number 6 and 7 by the hairpin. Stay on track, Insportec. Don't give up. Don't lose any sight of the speed advantage. We'll be going forward to find your line. Sector 2 cleared to be checked, and coming back again to be on the uphill in Sector 3. Psycho Crowley in a Radical SR3 with a different livery comes in to be forward to be in number 1 position. But number 2 for UTRS Insportec as well to see how correction is going to have to do well challenging to be as a good moment in circuit experience at Fuji International Speedway. But I'll make sure gonna have to start out to do any kinds of preparation before moving on to be in the full walkthrough to take on in European Championship. Panasonic successful to see on the link cornering before Insportec will be take the high-speed straightaway chase for only 0.4 seconds with added up onto 16 seconds while Psycho Crowley takes an excellent push to be reaching up at the end of lap number 4 before coming in onto lap number 5. But looks like Smokey Rooster in the lime green Radical SR3 is still currently to catch up for only 2 cars is now struggle in to be on the straightaway before entering turn 1. So let's hold the brakes, take the inside of the apex at the TGR corner in turn 1. Coming down onto turn 2, Psycho Crowley still barely tried to keep up onto its main ropes while Insportec is going forward to take the offense. Braking point to be entered onto turn number 3. Stay at it. 100R before entered in turn number 4 to go exit onto turn 5. Slightly in and go de-accelerate before re-accelerate to have a good short straightaway before taking turn number 6 at the hairpin. And here comes the near close contact before coming on to be at turn 6 and coming in onto the lineup at turn 7. Psycho Crowley barely tried to make a good defense out there, folks. He could probably have to take it all and go for the goal. But here's Smokey Rooster's lap time to be updated for only 1 minute and 58.215 seconds. And oh man, looks like this is going to be so close for Psycho Crowley to go late braking to be on turn 10. Coming recovery in turn 11 and 12 before taking the 13. UTRS barely tried to keep up and go faster to be on the main goal for having the main objective to be in first place to be on the better rope. So now just gonna have to take the 15 is gonna get much closer to be on the further advantage for Psycho Crowley to be in the upper hand. Insportec, however, can probably have to take turn 16 and go for the slipstream to be on the increased acceleration. We'll be catch up in about 0.7 seconds. We'll have to do some turbocharged increased acceleration. But man, this is going to be much excellent to have a different role of a track circuit Kaido Battle to see how the spectators really want to see some action. So let's go in there, folks. 2 cars are now battled out to each other to be on a separate range of the gap before Psycho Crowley takes the first turn to be going down the hill in the TGR exit corner. Strategy, as it turns out, but UDRS in Sportec will have to keep up forward to reach Psycho Crowley in no time in about 0.8 seconds up ahead in position number 2. Now Sector 1 clear again before coming in onto Sector 2 for twice. Stay on it. Psycho Crowley barely tried to keep up by having a good smooth handling to be doing much effort. And there goes again on to turn 6 at the hairpin. We accelerate and go for turn number 7. 0.8 seconds for Smokey Roadster is now currently to be ongoing in the bronze position, while Team UDRS in Sportec in the Radical SR3 SL 2013 is still currently to be on the progression. So now comes in to be on the dive-in maneuver in turn 10 at Sector 3. Turn 11 is going to be smoothly in to take turn 12 for Psycho Crowley to be on the uphill before taking the 13 again. Correction makes a perfect key for having an excellent one-make race strategy to be doing the Radical SR3 is gonna have to do a very excellent track circuit car to be well driven to be as a labeled race car. But it's only a road car, by the way, folks. This one is a very good underdog, is going to be well driven to be exclusive for one-make events. First time ever to be debuted in the Nations Cup to be as any kinds of different one-make cars like the Mazda Roadster S ND Model 2015 at Suzuka Circuit. But we did a good job back in test season 1 for only 4 rounds. Here we go, lap number 7, and a bright and sunny day is about to go clear after several minutes to be on the partly cloudy. So let's kick things up and go for the inside on turn 1, folks. And Smokey Roadster is now coming in to be on the close edge for Sportec to be at 0.3 seconds to go. After taking Sector 1 in turn 1 and 2, going in again to take turn 3 will go quicker this time. Psycho Crowley takes an excellent push to be on the defense before Sportec still goes for the offense to be at the 100R in turn 4 and 5. Turn 6 will have to go quicker to be on the hairpin before go for the recovery on turn 7. Still on the main progression, the time still go effect on the red. But we'll make sure the pit lane entrance will have to do correctly for the next season, or round 3 we'll be doing the final round. And there it goes. Looks like Smokey Rooster is now gonna have to take a chance to go on the inside before Sportec will be going back up onto the defense and squeeze right in onto the 13 by the contact. There you go. Looks like Smokey Rooster is now entered position number 2 while Sportec takes 3rd place. And there it goes, because the slipstream lineup will be get closer onto turn number 16 for Psycho Crowley, while Smokey Rooster in the lime green color before Sportec will be packed up and go for the struggle to have an excellent turn running rush will be at the straightaway to have the next lap after lap number 7 before moving on into the 8. Here comes lap number 8. Smokey Rooster just barely beat a lap time for only a minute and 57.474 seconds to be well improved. Gonna have to drive carefully when using the Radical SR3 is a track circuit stay work. But now UDRS in Sportec will have to stay behind while 2 drivers is now reaching up by each other to take the battle for 1st place. However, Smokey Rooster is now going in to catch up to Psycho Crowley in about a few more length of the gap for only 0.8 seconds to go. Will Sportec can actually have to catch up to 2 drivers in no time, because this race is going to be a high stakes effort to see which one of them will have to take the podium in 1st place. As Psycho Crowley and Smokey Rooster continues on by each other when taking 1st and 2nd place after moving on in turn number 8 before coming in onto turn 9 in the 300R. But here comes the side-by-side to enter sector number 3 to take turn 10. Smokey Rooster takes the lead to going up after having some good efforts on turn 11 through 12. Psycho Crowley will have to stay on top with Smokey Rooster, while UDRS Insportec will have to do the same to stay on 2 drivers before take the 13th. Turn 14 at the next corner will be going closer to have a good excellent handling technique to be well heavy, and looks like doing perfection on the 15, and Psycho Crowley goes off the track before Insportec will be going directly onto the final turn at the Panasonic to have a good suitable chance to get closer in about 0.3 seconds to commence by having a side-by-side formation until it will be turns out to become very great to have a length of the distance. Okay, looks like it's time to go side by side for Psycho Crowley and Team UDRS, while Smokey Rooster takes the lead before moving on in lap number 9. After putting up with some temporary divorce line to see some good racing action moment before at the end of lap number 8. So here comes, Insportec will pull hard on the brake in turn 1, while Psycho Crowley takes position number 3 to be entered onto turn number 1. Correction is going to get much smoothly this time for only 2.1 seconds to go for Team UDRS in the Radical SR3 to take sector 1 before coming down again onto sector number 2. But here comes the handling for Smokey Roaster to be on the careful risk when taking turn 4 and 5 at the 100R. That should be quite doing a good clear opportunity for Team Insportec. Will be shortly in to be ranged up in about 0.5 seconds to be added with 1. But it's going to get much excellent for only 3 more laps to go. 3 drivers are still standing around to each other. Is going to have to do some best high paces before taking the next turn on to turn number 10. Go for an early break, heavy handling as it goes, inside cornering of the apex for Insportec before moving on into turn 11 and 12. Beat the hill climb on the terrain to take the 13th. Smokey Rooster is going to have to go hard for the defense before Team UDRS Insportec will be going up on to turn number 14 and 15, and the handling takes on to be at the 15th turn before the final corner on number 16 at the Panasonic. Stunning work, follow the line, and go for the slipstream for Team UDRS in about 0.9 seconds to go. However, Smokey is now going increase to push up the pace because the slipstream will have to stay on the length of the gap before 1 second is going to get much further this time until lap number 10 comes in. And there it goes. Looks like the green flag is always to proceed forward. We'll have to go on to be at turn number 1. Here comes the danger zone to take the inside. Psycho Crowley is going forward to take the quick offense, and Insportec has to be very careful and use for the emergency handling to go for the recovery. Quicker as it goes in turn 1 and 2, takes turn number 3 in sector number 2 at the Coca-Cola corner to go right back onto 100R in turn 4 and 5 to be on the enter and exit strategy. Very good for having some smooth handling. And here comes the hairpin on turn 6. Take turn 7 by the way, but it's going to have to go closer for Psycho Crowley to stay on track for Team UDRS Insportec in about 0.6 seconds behind the gap, while Smokey Rooster is going to have to take much high pressure to be on turn number 10 in sector 3. Very good, excellent. The clouds are moving. Perfect time to be in the bright and sunny day at Fuji, folks. But luckily, the iconic volcano mountain is going to be the perfect place to have a nice, good, clear skies. But hold on, looks like Smokey Rooster is going to have to do some handling problems to be on the 14 and 15 after the 13 turns. And that makes the handling is going to get much quicker to be on the most handling situation in the mid-engine layout. So let's keep our eyes checked and go for the 16th turn cornering. We'll be going up and passes on to have an excellent slipstream for only 0.3 seconds, while Smokey Rooster is going to have to try to keep away from Team UDRS number 2 position until lap number 11 will be entered to proceed. Sounds like having a different role of a Kaido Battle from Tokyo Extreme Racer, but only in Fuji International Speedway for a track-only car. Let's dive in again. Gonna have to go and take turn 1 to stay on track. Smoky Rooster is gonna barely try to keep up onto the high pressure pace before taking turn 3 again in sector number 2. All clear check. Now gonna have to step right into the apex and take turn 4 to be entered in the 100R. Very good. Excellent style handling for Team UDRS in Sportec. Smoky Rooster can barely try to keep much ongoing for the defense, while Insportec takes the offense in about 0.4 seconds and go further away. Now it comes in to have many further chances for the top 3 drivers is going to get much further out there to be on turn 10 to be at the chicane section. But however, Smoky Rooster just gonna have to barely try to keep holding in much longer before Insportec will have to get on top of it to be at the number 1 spot. The final lap is gonna have to do one last showdown for the top 3 drivers before one of them will become the first place winner in round 2 of the Nations Cup. Doing successful work on turn number 15. Now for turn number 16 at the Panasonic, we'll be going in to take the final showdown for only 2 cars between a green and blue along with a silver base color to be as a livery design for Psycho Crowley in position 3. So here we go, folks. The final showdown in round 2 of Test Season 3 Nations Cup is about to go underway. It's me versus Smoky Rooster to take the battle for first place. Let's do this. Let's go hard and faster to be on turn number 1 to get close in, and go directly to be on the heavy handling to see how 2 Radical SR3 cars will be step things up to be forward before taking turn 2 after turn 1 at the TGR corner to be on the section before at the end of sector 1. 1 sector down, 2 more to go in the final lap. Let's see how excellent drivers can actually have to do correctly. But oh no, looks like a penalty is going to be well affected for Team Insportec. However, Psycho Crowley might have the opportunity, will be doing much quicker to be on the second place position, will might get in to be on the certain chances. Will Insportec just going to have to make it on time to be on the penalty line, while Psycho Crowley will be stay on track to be forward. Turn number 3 is much always to be quicker to ignore the track limit, will get effect on the penalty. So now, Smoky Rooster barely tried to stay on touch in turn number 10 on sector 3 to be in the final part of the sector to go up the hill and go quicker to be on the fast-paced handling, while Psycho Crowley will have to take that chance before Team UDRS Insportec will have to be affected with a penalty for only 0.5 seconds. And there goes. No chance of giving up at this moment, and forcefully to be de-accelerate at the next penalty line will be at the straightaway to have the full final stretch. And that makes Psycho Crowley will have to take the number 2 spot before Insportec will be forced to be slowed down, and Smoky Rooster barely passes through to have 2 cars away to be entered onto the finish line. And there it goes. Smoky Rooster takes the win in first place in Test Season 3 in round 2 of the 2022 Series Nations Cup. What in the most stunning, difficult race for only 3 cars to battle out each other at Fuji International Speedway. So close, and almost barely had the chance for Team UDRS to end up in bronze. Psycho Crowley have finished in second place, and that makes for only first place winner goes to Smoky Rooster. Very good, excellent, and with the exception of the 4th place driver is being absent to be in the lobby. For only a minute left, but it was a lot of closing edge for only 3 cars can battle out each other. But clearly, we did a good job to have a mandatory requirement to be on the pit stop. We'll be using 1 time, we'll move forward without a 1-minute penalty. Man, that was a lot of hard work for this part of the race entry after having several minutes of delays for every Gran Turismo players who are being impatient. Just make sure, you guys, if there might be some trouble going on, just try to be patient before we can probably have more players to join in session to be in the lobby. But I know it may take 15 minutes is going to be having some long wait before we will get the show on the road. But now, that's competition, and what's left of it to be ended up to be entered on to third place to go below. Well, I guess a different cutscene might be cheering me up as well, but it was a lot of hard work after spending many patience for several GT players. First time ever to be using with a Radical SR3 track car is also to be fitted as a real car. But very good to have third place earning is doing much better, and daily workout is already complete. Now for the replay to be saved, and that makes a very good temperature to be on Fuji International Speedway is 69.8 degrees Fahrenheit to start out in partly cloudy before doing a bright and sunny day is going to be a very bright moment. So I guess the first place winner in the SR3 SL 2013 made by Radical goes to Smokey Rooster, is now having a first place podium for doing an ongoing battle. Good job, Smokey Rooster. That makes a very good, excellent, clean run and successful race complete. Second place goes to Psycho Crowley, did a good job to be on the main time along with Smokey Rooster. And for myself, third place, better make sure to work hard next time, is going to have to do correctly for the next season to be using with the same car. But of course, the race is complete for only one more round to go because 2 events clear, and that makes Gr.2 Cars will be coming up in the next race, will be at Suzuka Circuit. For calling round 2 at Fuji International Speedway to be in the 1-week race by using the Radical SR3 SL 2013 becomes a very good street legal track car to be well challenging for every Gran Turismo players. But there is also to have one other thing for having a concern. Before at the start of the competition in round 2 for test season 3 of the Nations Cup, but I know there might be some several GT players who are being impatient when you're playing on the PS4 or PS5 version will be exited out to be moved on to be in the next race entry. We might get better this time. But we'll make sure at the end of the day on May 7th before tomorrow is going to be Sunday. So luckily, it's going to get much perfect to be on the Gr.2 class to have 3 Super GT500 from the 2016 season will be joining in as well, along with 2 GT1 race cars like the McLaren F1 GTR race car 1997 and the Mercedes-Benz CLK LM 1998 will be put up to be on the regulation as part of the event specified car. But good thing for several GT players who have already purchased 2 of them from the Legend Car dealership is already put up onto the car index for the collection. 15 laps for only 16 players in the formation start type will be included to have 2 racing compound tires will be required to be as a mandatory. There's going to be the medium and soft racing tires will be doing a single pit stop will be used for only 2 types to be on the garage car or event specific car will be doing the choice. But I'll make sure I'll have to get the Nissan GTR Nismo GT500 2016 from the brand Central because I still got enough currency credits will be available to buy. But I'll make sure time to wrap this up to go back to the garage and have another round to be on the roulette ticket after using the 3-star to be end up to have some less currency credits. But good thing I just saved one of them before putting up the new clip will be get settled in to get set. So let's go and use the 4-star roulette ticket to have one good chance to go for the prize. But I bet if I could probably have to get the Porsche GT4 Cayman Club Sport is going to be doing perfectly well. But also to have some good luck to be added up onto 500,000 Gran Turismo credits. But I'll get the better car next time, but more prize money, more adding up onto the current balance will be get peaker up onto 3 million. Alright, presentation time folks. So I hope you like my brand new UTRS Insportec livery on the Radical SR3 SL, but by the looks of it, the interior view might be quite turned out to have different kinds of colors before ended up into yellow trim, before putting up to have a nice livery design to be outfitted to have the base blue color. But I also spent 30 minutes to come up with a very good, excellent racing car version. Is also to be put up on the street legal track car. Is very good to use to be racing around on any world circuits such as Fuji International Speedway for participate in round 2 and test season 3 of the Nations Cup. Well, I hope you like it, but the letter UDRS on the rear makes a very good symbol for Team Insportec racing team for the competition. But that makes a very good excellent design variation will turn out to become as the original, and especially to have decals to be well placed to have all kinds of different logos to be part of it. So now, time to wrap this up at the end of the video, so I'll make sure I'll get set to do some practice at Suzuka Circuit for tomorrow until at the end of May 7. Thank you for watching on my video in Gran Turismo 7 folks. I hope you enjoyed. Just go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos if you like to see. And don't forget to follow me on any social media platforms like DeepNet Art, Instagram, GT Planet, Twitter, and more to see for my own image artwork like UDRS liveries, Total Drama fan art with car liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be see you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.